I'm joined by Andrew Sinclair from Cowell Clarke. Good to have you here, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
How's the wave going? The riding the wave. I see you've dressed appropriately.
Riding the wave. You got to. It's hot up here.
It is hot. It's surprisingly hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, I like the title of your presentation, Smile in Retirement. It's everybody's dream.
That's right.
How achievable is it? And sort of, I know that's what your presentation.
It's very achievable if you structure and plan ahead. Plan for all the different outcomes that might happen. And so that's what I wanted to ensure the paper, I hope, got across, was if we address all the possible scenarios, you can deal with them and retire comfortably, that you can smile and say, I've dealt with that, that's sorted.
All right, so realistically, when would someone start planning so they can actually enjoy their golden...
I don't know what the magic number might be, but I must say I would have thought at 30 or something you might start to turn your mind to it. But when and then off you go with your super fund.
Okay, when you were 30, were you even thinking about...
I would have loved to. I did think about it, but I was in no state to retire, unfortunately. But
no,
yes.
I don't mean.
But yes,
I don't mean when you start thinking about retiring, but when you start thinking about actually how you're going to spend your twilight years. So, when, like realistically, what you see, when do people start actually thinking about, how they're going to fend for themselves?
Yeah. When do they do it? Probably more likely in the 40s.
Yep.
How do they think about how they'll spend their twilight years? Will they start to focus on, how do I set up my super fund at 40? What do I start to do to get in there, get assets in there? From, I would say, from early 40s. And that's why we need, in my view, more concessional contributions so that people can really get some decent cash in there. But
so the 35 years not really enough, is it? Is that what it is?
No, that's probably perhaps right.
Yeah.
But then you've got some other ability, whether it's concessional contributions or non-concessional, you've got some means by which you can get some large licks into your super fund. So they're just something to utilise is all I was trying to say. You've got to turn your mind to it and look at what assets in families we can get into super, because super is the best vehicle for retiring. Okay,
and there's some pretty straightforward steps, aren't there? So accumulate at the beginning, and then as you start to get older, and sort of get really quite serious about it. What's that step there?
Well, then once you're getting in your late years towards retirement, you start to look seriously at, have I got enough in there to generate a pension, to generate some sort of retirement income stream for either 1, 2, however many members are about to retire. So that's a matter of, you've got to look at the quantum of what you've accumulated. And then you're going to hit the retirement phase and start to draw some sort of pension, whether it be transition to retirement. But it's really, I just wanted to highlight that there will be assets either immediately within the family group or that you may inherit, that you may think, okay, even if I've inherited them late in life, 50s to 60, maybe I, as soon as inherit them, transfer those to super so that I've got my own retirement set up.
Okay, and we just had a chat earlier. You were talking about sort of protecting what you've got for the right out, or for the outcome that you would hope after you've gone.
As I said in my seminar, I'm a big...
I don't sound sensitive. Yeah. What's the point? We all know it's going to happen.
Yeah, those protecting from claims either from creditors or the mess after you die, when there's a whole lot of wealth on the table, and then the beneficiaries, whether stepchildren, move in and say, I want a piece of that. And as I said, the wealth transfer file is something to avoid. The lawyers winning out of it at the expense of your descendants and who you want to win out of it.
Right. So how common is that? And I like the phrase, the wealth transfer file, where you take everything you've got, and the lawyers, by doing their job,
which is a very meritorious thing, that the lawyers take the money. Nothing wrong with that.
No. As I said, they're doing their job. There's a bunch of lawyer jobs. What's the difference between a lawyer and God?
Oh, I don't know.
God doesn't think he's a lawyer.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
So, what's one of the easier rules to remember around that phase? Is it setting up the right will? Is it
it's the easiest rule to me is consistency across all your controlled assets. So your controlled assets will have a mechanism that gives the person control over those. It's ensuring that all the documents have a consistent controlling person.
Okay.
Picking the right person who you know understands what you're about, and that person takes control of everything, whether it be across the board, or maybe you say deliberately, child number 1, I've got faith in you, there's your beast. You control that, but it's a consistent message that you're sending across, not conflicting documents.
Okay,
it's conflict that's
and that the beneficiaries know that they're those ones as well.
Correct.
They know the rules before you go.
Yep, so often they do, and I must say that a lot to be said for that, that you've actually had them sit down as a family and say, right, this is what mum and dad have planned, and this is why it's happening, and it's going to be happening that way. It airs the grievances early.
Okay. Good on you, Andrew. Thanks for your
Thanks,
time.
Andrew.